Can't stop. Won't stop. Till killer cops. Earn cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following newly released video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
Listen, Jesse, back the fuck up.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz. In a newly released video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one: concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
Listen, Jesse, back the fuck up.
it is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly, picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tied me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with it? There's no such thing as an improper way. I know the law. I know the law. I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You know my license registration? To clarify, I use the seatbelt as a ring profile.
So to be fair, take out your keys.
Hey, you can record for what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call the supervisor? I want to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardez Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they can never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check, mic check. This is West Wednesday, number 421. We are calling for accountability for the death of Tyrone West, who was brutally murdered by the Baltimore police. We are also calling for accountability for all victims of police violence. Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Check.
Mic check. So again, thank you guys, and I'm so sorry. I apologize because we are late tonight. Y'all know we promptly normally come on at 6:30, but I was actually trying to get one of our special guests on, and we were having technical issues and whatnot coming through the Jitsi Meet app. So I'm gonna bring the brother on via my computer and let him tell you, like, so pretty much you guys know that this is West Wednesday, week 421. And literally and tirelessly, we've been fighting not only for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, who was executed 8 years ago, and my family is left with no accountability whatsoever. We're still trying to get my brother's case reopened, and that's why it's so important that we're going to be in DC demanding this on the 28th, demanding that they reopen all these cases. And like my sister Ishtam always says, every case matters. Dr. Ishtam Robinson, that's what she said, and that's what she stands for. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, I just wanted to let you know I was bringing my sister Tanika back on to give us an update about her, our hero, Fred, her son, Fred, who actually died, literally was murdered trying to saving someone, like not trying, but he actually saved someone's life, and he was murdered by an off-duty police. And you guys heard that we brought her here 2 weeks ago, and we were all in tears, and it was just so sad. But she's going to give us an update because she was supposed to come on last week. But, you know, as life goes on, she had an issue, and that we were praying about her dad and things like that. So she's actually going to be on here joining us tonight. And also, last week, we touched bases, and my brother Ben was able, because at first we didn't have the latest victim that was actually killed by Baltimore City police officers. Killed. He was the latest victim killed, and his name is Marcus Martin. And it's just horrible. Like, they literally killed him. But Ben, our brother Ben, was able to articulate and tell us a little bit more. He dug further in, and he found a GoFundMe that his sister had started and was giving us explicit details about, no, they trying to say, oh, he was shooting at officers. No, he shot at a robot. Like, literally, you're going to make your narrative up, spin it, and take and execute a young man. Take a man's life away for no darn reason. Like, we're not having that. So the same way that I'm standing, you know, for my big brother, I'm standing for my sister, son Fred, I'm standing for all the victims of police brutality and murder. I'm standing for Timothy Fleming, another young man who I did not want to meet, my newly beloved sister Angela and her sister Shantae, and take them on and invite them into this family. And then for me to learn that my brother David, who me and him have been friends on Facebook for years, literally said, you know what, Marcus was my cousin, and he's devastated. So I'm going to bring David, our brother David, on via my computer so you guys can hear him, and he's going to tell you whatever he feel comfortable with sharing, because we got to keep in mind all this stuff is fresh and it's new, and as hurtful and painful as it is for me to tell you guys. I can't even talk about it. I can't even articulate it sometimes. But as hurtful and painful as it is for me, guys, to tell you guys what happened to my brother nearly 8 years ago, it's like I'm reliving. It's like it just happened. It just happened, and it didn't. So we definitely want to wrap our arms around my sister Tanika and her son, because this is still fresh. And in the hospital, I'm still in love to my sister Angela, because this is fresh. Her brother Timothy, you know, I think they reached their 3 or 4 month commemoration, you know, on the 16th of this month from his execution, and they're still waiting for autopsy reports, all type of foolishness. So we're not standing for any of the foolishness. But unfortunately, I have another family member, my brother David, that never asked to be in a club, a family that no one asked to be in, where your loved one is murdered. You gotta sit up there and you gotta tell the world how dirty these killer cops are. Well, we already know, you know, we've been on it for 8 years, and we're not gonna stop. But no further ado, because he wasn't able to connect to the Jitsi Meet app, I'm gonna actually bring him on and I'm gonna let him talk to you guys from right here.
And while
David.
you're doing that, real quick, it was actually our soldier Gretchen who actually found that information. I just repeated it on the broadcast.
Oh, okay, sorry. So thank you, Soldier Gretchen, for actually finding that information for us. But now I'm going to bring our brother, David, on so he can tell us about his beloved family member, Marcus. And again, my heart goes out. I'm a praying sister, and I'm praying for this brother. I'm praying for this family. I'm praying for all of us as we go through. So no further action. We can do a quick mic check. Mic check.
Everything working on my end.
Awesome. All right, you can go ahead, brother. The floor is all yours.
My cousin Marcus, you know what I mean, he meant a lot to me. He used to always give me advice of what to do in life and stuff. You know, I clean up for a living and stuff. I'm a housekeeper. So he was telling me that you don't need to do people floors and stuff like that, clean people floors. He was telling me to do something better. He said, you're real good with your hands. He said, drive a truck and make a whole lot of money, drive trucks and stuff like that, or do jumping and stuff. And I always would say, yeah, I might jump into that and stuff like that. But he said, one day you might have a family and stuff, and you might have to take care of them and stuff like that. So you need to do that. You know what I mean? Do something more better and stuff. Don't just settle on just sweeping them out the floors and stuff. So, you know, man, I thought on that. But, you know, just to see everything that's going on in the country and the world with police brutality and stuff like that, I never thought that it would hit my own family and stuff like that, but it did. And I just really want, the man spoke out and said it's going to be an investigation on it. So I really want to find out what really happened. Now, as my cousin, if he shot at a robot, they don't justify them for taking his life like that. Because a robot is not real, it's not human and stuff like that. So I just wanted to know what really happened with the situation and all that for my cousin like to be taken away like that. You know, I always try to find different ways to deal with police brutality. I even got into I was listening to the morals, so-called morals and stuff like that about what some people would consider about you have certain rights and all that stuff like that, and if you claim your nationality, they won't do no harm to you and stuff like that. So I was looking into stuff like that, and I even sent it to my sister and stuff like that, and let her look at it too, stuff like that throughout the years and stuff. Doing research, trying to find different ways and stuff like that that we can get ourselves out of this situation of us our people getting abused by the police and stuff like that. I was even thinking about, you know what I mean, running up in the Capitol and stuff like that and stuff. But I know that we do that, that wouldn't be good for our people either, because they would shoot us and kill us and stuff like that. But I was just trying to think of so many different ways that we can solve this issue, where our people can be treated fairly and we won't have to get abused and killed and stuff like that. But you know, I'm just in the loss of words. It's just different. This what happened in my family and stuff. But, oh man. But I'm just gonna try to maintain, you know what I mean, wait for them to investigate and find more information to see what really happened. Because my cousin, he was a good brother, and you know, man, and the way he died, he didn't deserve to die that way.
And again, I'm sorry, my brother. And is there any ways that we can help you? Because I know that one of your family members share the GoFundMe page? Do you have that information or anything you want us to share? You know, to share that we can help support you in any which way that we can.
The GoFundMe, it's good now because they got enough money to do the funeral and everything like that. Yeah, so everything is tight on that front.
Okay. So
And
now,
I'll be sending you some information after this interview over with too.
okay. And yeah, so right now, so the sad part is that, you know, you guys have to go through the burying your loved one for no damn reason. And then, so at least y'all got, God is good, y'all got the money up for that. So now, we're working on the accountability part. And the saddest part, I just remember when my brother was killed, and they said, oh, we're holding this investigation. And in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to get us some answers. Meanwhile, it was the damn Dog and Pony show. Meanwhile, immediately when they kill her, I'm just going to be transparent and honest as I can be, you know. And I'm hoping that, you know, our new man, I'm hoping that they're not playing games, but I know game plan when I see it, because they have this stance that they say that when they kill us, they justify it off the top. How can you justify murder? But if we do something, they throw the book at us and we'll never see the streets again. You know, I call it the Dog and Pony show. But right now, the next step on us to do, so to, you know, to support you, is basically holding them accountable. Basically making sure that they go down for what they did. Like, you don't go and kill somebody that's having a mental health breakthrough. You get them help. You get what I'm saying? Like, your loved one did not deserve that. Marcus did not deserve to go out like that. And I'm so heartbroken, but you better believe I'm glad me and you connected, and we're gonna make sure that somebody get held accountable. I'm gonna make sure I give you every resource, information that I know that you can reach out to make sure, because when we trusted certain people that were sending us down a dead end road, you know, I remember Chief Rodney pretty much said, oh, give us your family information. I'm gonna make sure, you know, y'all get in contact with the Civilian Review Board. We're gonna make sure it's a thorough and transparent investigation. And nothing was thorough or transparent. He didn't even file it for me. He didn't do anything. He played the Dog and Damn Pony show. It was said that literally my family, we were the main lawyers. We were the main ones doing everything. We were the damn investigators. You get what I'm saying? We was the one. I had to go into my resources, scrape up $50,000 because they tried to lie on my brother's autopsy report. And now, literally 8 years later, you know, now they want to come out and say, oh, David Fowler is foul. He was lying. But when we were telling them from day one, like, how you going to come back 154 days later with a flimsy report saying, oh, Mr. West, he didn't die because he was kicked and stomped and tortured in broad daylight, tasered, everything that could have went wrong in murdering somebody and torturing somebody. That's what they did to my damn brother. In broad daylight with video cameras, all type of footage, and nobody has been held accountable. And then they come back 154 days later with a bullcrap autopsy report saying, oh, Mr. West died from a bad heart, and you know, he was dehydrated, and that's why because of the heat contributing factors and because of Mr. West's bad heart, that's why he dropped dead. And I'm like, oh, the devil is a freaking liar. Mr. West was the healthiest man in my whole entire family. Ain't no way in hell this is going down. My brother didn't even have a rotten tooth in his mouth. He played right for us, eating healthy. He made sure my grandmother was healthy, doing exercise. This man would walk to work every single day. I'm talking about from east side all the way to West Baltimore to South Baltimore, walking, and he'd get there within 25 minutes. He loved walking, but I call us myself letting him hold my Mercedes-Benz because I didn't want my brother to get caught up in no homicide foolishness, like out in the street, he on the way to work, and then somebody shooting at each other, and he get caught. And the thing that I gave him that I thought was going to protect my brother ultimately got my brother stalked by some damn serial killers that if you watch the video that I showed, it shows you the pattern of Ruiz, one of the first officers that murdered my brother. So I'm just here to say, my brother, you don't got to worry. We're going to make sure these folks get held accountable by calling them out. And I'm inviting you too, if you can get away to DC on the 28th. We're going in to DC and we're going to hold up all the victims of police brutality name and everywhere I go. And even if you can't make it, if you can get a picture of your loved one, I'll take it to DC with me and scream his name when I'm on the microphone. So you ain't even got to worry about it. Like, I got you from this point. We together. We in this to the end. So you ain't even gotta worry about it. Mic check.
Appreciate it.
You welcome. So I'm gonna check in real quick. Do anybody want to ask our brother anything? Or say anything, send condolences or anything to our brother David? Mic check.
Mic check. This is Benjamin.
Mike.
And so I had seen the GoFundMe that was put up for him, and I also saw the testimony that his daughter left. Is there anything that you can tell us about the situation, the circumstances surrounding his death? Because we saw on her testimony that she talked about, you know, in the news they said that he shot back at cops, but in the testimony she gave, she talked about how they sent in a robot through the door and he shot at the robot. He didn't actually shoot at any people.
That's the same thing I heard too, that he shot at the robot and not at any people. But I don't really know what happened because I ain't really been asking nobody because I let people mourn and stuff like that. I don't, you know, and people be having a whole lot of stuff on their mind. But you know, man, I heard the same story too. He shot the robot, so he shot the robot. And then no right for them to take his life away in that matter and stuff like that. But I don't know if he shot at the police and stuff like that. I wasn't there and I ain't asked nobody on it, but I hope in the investigation we find out what really happened.
And thank you, my brother. And I wanted to clear something up because I think initially I said his sister, but his daughter. So I want to clear that up. I apologize that, you know, but his daughter actually did a great job articulating what actually happened. Like fact finding, like, look, don't believe this. Like, and that's what we need to do, be our conscious consumers. So we just praying for you, my brother. Like, we're just praying for you at your time of mourning. If you need anything, I'm only a phone call away. You know, I sent you my personal cell phone number. You can hit me up any time of the night. It don't even matter. So does anybody else want to share anything with my brother? Because I know, like, this is hard for him, and I don't want to take up too much of his time. Because this is hard. This is fresh. This just happened. Anybody else want to say anything? Mic check.
This is Tanika. First of all, send my condolences to your entire family. When I'm from North Carolina, you know, y'all hear the southern accent. When y'all say a robot, are you saying that the police has a robot that goes into people's house?
Yes. Yes, they do. It's supposed to be like in hostage situation, which if they used it the right way, it could actually work. But it was no hostage situation. Like his daughter articulated that it was no hostage situation. He was going through a mental health crisis situation. And it was one of those things like, you know, he needed his family. He needed like medical treatment, not to be murdered, not to be assassinated. And what they did was they removed all the family. They didn't call no health crisis people in to come talk or, you know, alleviate it. They called hostage negotiators when no one was held hostage. So that was strike number one. You get what I'm saying? So then after they did that here in Baltimore, what they did next was actually send a real robot in there. Like sometimes they'll send it in there like to like set off like tear gas bombs or to do certain things. And imagine you're going through a mental health crisis and they remove all your loving family out that's actually talking and, you know, ready to take you to hospital, and you like, okay, I'm gonna go with you type of thing. And then now all of a sudden your family is gone and you're left alone to your lonesome. Left alone in your house suffering for help, and then they send a robot in there. You already freaking out in your mind, and you see a robot coming in. Who wouldn't shoot at a robot? That's not a human being. That's a robot. So it's horrible.
But if there's anything that the FCLM Fred Cox Life Matter Foundation can do to assist your family, then please reach out to us. We are on Facebook as well, Fred Cox Life Matters Foundation, and we're here for you and your family. And again, we send our deepest condolences.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and reshare the GoFundMe that his daughter had put up last week, but it's really, really easy to find. All you have to do is search for Marcus Martin and GoFundMe, and you'll find it immediately. The news, even though they put out some initial reports that were misleading at the very beginning, haven't really said anything since then. I guess for them, he's just another dead man in Baltimore. But so because of that, it's really, really easy to find the GoFundMe. So they're trying to put their loved one to rest. So if any of you can donate, definitely Google Marcus Martin. Marcus is spelled with a C, and GoFundMe, and you'll find it very, very easily.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
everything done with the it see the 10,000 and even beyond, a little bit beyond that. So everything is paid for right now. I'll be sending my sister the information on the funeral and all that stuff. So everything's paid for right now.
okay,
And
great.
thank y'all for donating and stuff like that. Me and my family, we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. So the original target was $10,000. They are now at $11,187. But we know, as a community, that no amount of money can replace your loved one. So, if you're feeling generous, please donate.
Right, because at the end of the day, y'all can use those resources just for anything that y'all might need besides that. You get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we know it's not about the income, it's about the outcome, but whatever which way we can help you guys. And that's why God is good, and that's why everybody sees that something's not right with this. That's why everybody was generous to be like, hold on, we're going to go above and beyond. Not only are we going to get them what they were asking, we're going to give them a little bit more. And y'all deserve way more than that. And most importantly, y'all deserve accountability. And we're going to make sure y'all get it. Or we just going to keep on putting it out there, putting their dirt out there until they have no choice but their hands be tied. They have no choice but to hold these killer cops accountable. So you got us, and we love you, and we're here for you. And I definitely respect your time. So, I know you gotta go, my brother. If you want to stay in queue, feel free. If you want to jump on my page and look at it from here, it's on my page now. You can check it out and definitely get with me after this is over with, my brother. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And to Wanda, I just noticed that Jordan, his daughter, has updated a few things on the GoFundMe that I'd like to read, if that's okay.
Is that okay if he read that? What his daughter just wrote?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I don't trigger anything. So she wrote that on August 9th, my father, Marcus Martin, lost his life to an ongoing mental illness which resulted in the police using excessive force. Because of this, he was pronounced dead on the scene. And this is the part that she added that we didn't have last week. On August 6th, 2021, 3 days before, he lost his job. Because his insurance was covered through his job, we have no money to cover his death. I made this page to help with that.
Oh, wow.
He lost his job 3 days before. I don't know about any of you, but if I have lost a job before, and I wasn't okay for weeks, it messed me up. So I cannot imagine what he was going through, especially given the fact that he was already having mental illness problems. And then to send a robot through my door, I don't know what I would do. So the entire approach was inappropriate. And then we read on the news last week that they didn't even bother sending in mental health professionals. They didn't even bother at all.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, and I'm glad my brother Ben definitely read the additional news, because again, like I told you, my brother, we shared your loved one's story last week without even knowing that you were gonna, hit me up and be like, oh my God, that was my cousin. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We were just talking about him. So that's just how, God is good. And again, I'm so sorry. And I'm here. And once you get all the funeral information, viewing information, please share, because I love to pay my respects. And if y'all need any additional help outside of that, whether it be some food to donate or whatever which way we can help as a community, please let me know. Like, you can go to your family and say,
I'm gonna send that to you now. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm gonna send that to you.
okay, that sounds good. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let my brother go because, like I say, this is a hard time for him. So I'm gonna let him go. And again, thank you, David. And we'll be definitely keeping up. This will not be the last time you hear from me. So again, thank you, and I'm here for you, my brother. All right.
Twanda.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I think somebody. Yes, Brian.
Yeah, one more thing that I noticed, and I just, it's one of those things you're talking about how weird stuff is going on and how they're not being honest right up front. And when I was reading the lists, I noticed that Marcus is not on the list I have of Baltimore deaths, which is a list of homicides that's released by the police here in Baltimore. He is on the list of police homicides, which is gathered a different way. But what this is telling me is that the police have not yet even, released any information about his death whatsoever. They haven't even acknowledged that he has been killed. And so I don't know what's going on there, but this leads me to kind of, just chime in with you and just say, you can't let these people, you can't trust these people who say, oh, well, we're going to investigate, we're going to have this procedure, because obviously something's under the table at this point with him not being, he hasn't been officially listed by the police as a homicide yet. And I don't know why that is or isn't, but that's just the way it is, that he is not on the Baltimore City list of homicides, to be cleared or studied or anything like that. So that's just another thing that's out there, and I don't know what it means, but it's certainly, speaks what's going on.
I think they was trying to sweep it underneath the rug and stuff like that, because it was unjust.
Yeah.
It should be shot out all around the country and the globe for real. It's like what happened to George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
If they did wrong like that, then it should be all over and stuff. People should be out protesting all up the streets all in America and the world and stuff like that. It is unjustly what they did.
Exactly. So again, we will be uplifting your loved one name, and like I said, I respect your time. So I'm definitely gonna let you go, but I'll let you know we planning an outdoor West Wednesday next week where I'm gonna have the news press there as well. Please come and join us. We're gonna be. I'm gonna send you the information where we're gonna be at. It's gonna be at 6:30 next West Wednesday in downtown Baltimore. So please, because I'm gonna be supporting my sister Angela and her family, who's still waiting for Marilyn Mosby to release their autopsy report, which is disgusting. It's sickening. So yeah, my brother. But thank you so much, and let's connect, and hopefully you can come out next week, right? If you can come out, come out. If not, I'm still going to uplift your loved one name while I'm on the news, so it don't even matter. But if you want to come out, please feel free to come out.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate it and everything that you do for the community.
You're welcome.
And victims and all that stuff. I appreciate everything that you're doing for your brother too. Keep the fight going on.
All right. Well, definitely let's connect and send me whatever you want to send me, and let's connect after this. All right. And we're sending love. Yeah, we're sending mad love out to you.
You can share the information too on the show too once I send it to you too.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, send it to me, and I'll definitely make sure I share it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, King. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Again, thank you guys. So that was my brother David. Like I said, I don't get any joy out of bringing victim families here. I don't. I really don't. It's sad and disgusting, but that was very important. And I'm glad I thought of a way to connect us, because I honestly, I'm always on some conspiracy theory type of stuff, because after you live and survive through this and you start seeing the game plans, anytime you bury your loved one and he got on a black suit, and then you get his body flown out to a whole nother state, and then you get him unearthed for him to have on a yellow shirt that nobody can explain to me. So of course I'm going to think conspiracy theories. So every time we sort of have powerful guests, they play games with all type of apps. That's why I have to go through my brother Benjamin, my allies. You know, he's a family member, but that's my big brother in the fight. Like that's exactly why I go through him and you know different pages because they was chopping up my Facebook Live when we first got in this online because of the pandemic. They was freezing out everything. I had no Wi-Fi service. Everything was frozen. That's the bull crap. But it's not gonna stop. You can freeze up all this, but you're not gonna stop me. I'm gonna keep on reaching these victim families. I'm gonna keep on getting accountability. We're gonna keep on demanding it. So no further ado, I'm gonna bring my sister Tanika back, which is painful. Fred Cox was executed. Her son, her only damn son, murdered for saving somebody's life at a funeral. And I'm just so proud of her because she actually has the strength to actually fight something that no mother would ever want to dream about. Just to be a mother, to give birth to a baby, and you worry about when they go to like physicals, or you worry when your phone don't ring, when they don't text you back because they being teenagers and they feel like, oh, that's mom, I'm gonna call her back. You like, what the hell, y'all? So I don't want to ever imagine what my sister's going through, but this is a beautiful queen that's actually fighting for her son now. She's actually putting on work. And last week she had a big news press conference. Like she's not gonna let them sweep her son down. Her son execution. Let's be clear, by a mob. Her son execution by a mob. You know she's not gonna let them sweep the son. So sis, again, welcome, and you can share whatever updates you want to share on what happened at the press conference. If you're comfortable with it, if it's not going to trigger you off, or whatever you want to share. And again, I thank you for your time and being here tonight. Thank you so much. Mic check.
Mike check. I really appreciate y'all having me and just thinking enough of Fred Cox to get an update on what's going on with him. So that speaks volumes to me, and I really appreciate that. As you stated, last Wednesday we did have a press conference where a federal lawsuit was filed. And no amount of money is going to bring my baby back to me. So I was very emotional because you want to buy me off instead of pressing charges against this man that executed my child. And like I said previously, had Fred been the one behind that gun and murdered this man, I would forever visit my son in prison. It's not much that I can, say about the lawsuit, of course. But at the press conference, it was laid on my heart to say this. I was always your hero. I was always there to save him from everything. And now you're someone else's hero. And I thought about that when I got home, and I was like, my son really saved somebody's life and lost his. And I struggled. And I said, only had you stayed in that car, you may be here. So he was only doing what he knew to do, and that was to protect. He was the type of, he was overprotective. So it's bittersweet. Am I proud of him? Yes. Because, again, he has always been overprotective. But am I hurt? Am I crushed? Yes. And it hurts that his hero, his personal hero, was not there to save him. So it was like a slap in my face that he had to be someone else's hero, but his hero was not there to save him. So I've been struggling, just with that. And sorry, my phone's in here. And it's hurtful. It's very hurtful that I still walk around and I have to always defend my deceased child as if he was the one that did wrong. And I know a lot of family members feel the same way. We have to continue to make sure that their names are not destroyed, and we always have to defend them when they are the deceased. We shouldn't have to go through that. We should be worrying about these killer cops and their families, trying to make sure that their names are clear. But it's like we are the ones that did something wrong. And I'm like, it baffles me. I've never heard of a robot, a police sending a robot into somebody's house, like in a mental crisis. What? And you expected this man not to still have a clear mind and not shoot at this foreign thing that's coming through his door? But his daughter is having to, I'm sure, speak to these people and try to make sure that they know her daddy was not, about that life, so to speak. And it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to us that we have to continue to prove a point when our loved one is not in the wrong. It baffles me. I will be there on the 28th, so hopefully I get to meet some of Wanda. And I had another mom who asked me, like, people see and think that I'm so strong because you may see me smile. And I get it all the time. You're so strong, you're so strong. You don't understand those nights. I have nightmares also every night where I'm defending them. I'm fighting the police every night. So I don't want people to take, if I'm having a good moment, just let me have that moment. Because all moments are not good for us grieving mothers, us grieving families. And my heart really goes out to his daughter. I mean, he lost his job 3 days before he was executed. And they did not have life insurance. Like, it gotta stop. Like, at what point do they stop killing us? What point do they start using mace and they start using mace and tasers? Oh well, don't forget that they mix tasers up with guns. It's sad. It's sad. And like you said, he was not just my only son, he was my only child, period. So the loneliness, and I think I posted on Facebook the other day, I'm just waiting to wake up from this nightmare because I know I'm really not going through this. I birthed this boy. I've never not seen or heard from my child. Every day we talk, every day. My husband took me to Paris, but I still made sure that I talked to my baby every day. And I'm just waiting to wake up from this nightmare because I have not seen my baby in 9 months. And every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, maybe tomorrow. He'll walk through the door tomorrow. He'll call me tomorrow. but tomorrow is never coming. It's, and I'm not really good at that. And it's hard as a parent. And I also posted on Facebook the other day, like, I don't make these posts for sympathy. Because I can get that through my family. I can get that through my husband. I post so we won't have another Fred Cox story. So that we as parents can I mean, it's really nothing we can do because they killing us. He was at church. He was at a church. Like a mother. Fred, if a police stop you and you in this car, what do you do? He would say, put both hands on the steering wheel and I won't move. And you still lose your life? People that I tried to make sure you were protected from? So I'm not going on here for sympathy. I'm bringing awareness. I'm trying to help others so that their child won't be a Fred Cox story. Because it hurt like hell. And that's all. At some point, it has to stop because it's daily. It's not even a weekly or it's daily. They're taking us out like flies. And then someone asked me, so what makes your son case bigger or as big as a George Floyd or Breonna Taylor case?
Wow.
He was a freaking human being, just like this.
Wow.
And in my eyes, my baby will ever be bigger than any case here. Because that's my baby. I birthed a human being. Breonna Taylor, beautiful human being. Her mama didn't deserve to bury her either. Just because some of our stories get more national attention than others, these are still freaking human beings. And when we hit the street for one, we should hit the street for all.
That's right. Say it again, sir. Say it again.
So the way that the whole world protests for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, anybody, whenever they hear it, all should be hitting the damn streets for one another. No matter how big or how small your story is, the police killed that family member. And it's not fair. I don't know the Floyd family, but I know they haven't protested for Fred Cox. And when I tell you High Point, North Carolina, shut the streets down for George Floyd, the streets down, restaurants had closed, they tore up Walmart, they closed Main Street down, but when you got somebody right in your own backyard, you don't say nothing. Everywhere where we are murdered, we should hit the street. Now don't get it twisted. I'm glad they made moves. Hit the street for one. Let's remember all. Don't play favoritism because they all were live.
Yes. And that's the part, sis, that hurt me the most is when you had people playing victim against victim. Like a victim is a freaking victim, whether you know their names or not. And I really feel for the ones that you don't know their names. Like, and it used to irritate the crap on me because before any of the Freddie Gray stuff happened, we were out there. My heart goes out to Freddie Gray family. But we were out there for me to see local so-called leaders literally leave their hometown where my brother was stretched out, beat to death in broad daylight, pepper spray, tased, kicked, tortured, leave, not come to a West Lansing, leave or roll their eyes at us standing on the corner, and you would have people like Pastor Jamal Bryant go jump on a plane, and a year later, after my brother was killed, when Eric Gardner was killed, you see this Negro in New York City talking about Eric Gardner when my brother was choked the freak out right here in Baltimore in your own backyard. So I know the pain. I know the pain is real. It's just sad, like you said, all the victims. And that's exactly why I started West Lansing, not just for Tyrone West, my big brother, my everything, but for all the victims. All the victims. And it's just sad. And I'm actually looking at my inbox too and hearing you. I feel like I'm all over the place. And I know I look crazy right now, but I don't even care. But
you know, beautiful.
To hear you talk, it just breaks my heart every time because people don't know that damn pain. People don't know that pain. And for people to ask you stupid questions, like questions that'll make you want to smack their face, like how dare they ask you some dumb, like, ooh, I gotta calm down. But it's just sad. I'm sorry you even going through that. And then for you to advocate so nobody else's child won't be laid on the ground. But they ain't gonna believe it's real till it's them or one of their loved ones. Then it gets real. But I'm sitting up here in my inbox, my brother David, I'm gonna share it with y'all, but it's so sad. He just sent me a picture of his cousin, Marcus. This is a handsome young man. When I say he is so handsome, like, oh my God, it's just horrible that, like, they would actually murder this man. Like, let me go back to his picture now. Facebook playing. Okay, so I'm gonna read real quick. It says this is his funeral arrangement. It says Mark, and I'll share this, guys, with you on my page once I hop off of West Lansing. But it says Marcus K. Martin Sr. He was born on January the 22nd, 81, and murdered on. It don't say murdered. That's my words, but it just says 1/22/81 through up until August the 9th, 2021, which is freaking disgusting. But the viewing is going to be Friday, August the 27th, 12 to 2 p.m. Reflections from friends and family, 2 to 3 p.m. And it's going to be at Wiley Funeral Home. And that's so heartbreaking to me because I just left Wiley Funeral Home a couple of months ago to have my grandmother's funeral. And then months before that, to have my cousin who was murdered, Tavon Anderson funeral. So definitely know where Wiley Funeral Home, because my loved ones, 2 of my loved ones, was just there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just having a moment. But they're going to be at Wiley Funeral Home. The address is 701 North Mount Street. Zip code is 21217. The repast/cookout will be this Saturday, August the not this Saturday, I'm sorry, next Saturday, because all this is the following week. I'm sorry, I just got pulled up. But it's going to actually be the repast. It's going to actually be the day that we're going to all be in D.C. and I'm going to be definitely sending my love, because if I wasn't in D.C., I'd definitely be there, but I'm going to be there in solidarity. But the repast is going to be, so maybe I can get out there that Friday. I'm definitely going to make it sometime Friday to go and pay my respects to the family. But the repast cookout is going to be Saturday, August the 28th at 2 p.m. It's going to be at Flying Point Park. And the address for that is 511 Kennard Avenue, Edgewood, Maryland, 21040. But it just breaks my heart. Like, I just want to share, like, I want y'all to see this. Like, this is just heartbreaking. This is who, and now my Facebook want to play with me again, I swear. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I want to blow this up so you guys can see that I'm going to share. This is who they murdered. This is Marcus, guys. This is my first time saying it. This is Marcus. This is another man, a human, that you freaking murdered because he shot at a freaking robot during a mental health crisis where he needed mental health issues. Like, you could have took him to the hospital, you could have did anything, and you go in his damn home and you execute him. So Mayor Brandon Scott, Marilyn Moses, I don't want to hear none of y'all foolishness. Commissioner Davis,
this, whatever your freaking name is, I'm just like out of it right now. But this is who you guys murdered. Murdered in cold blood. Somebody's father, somebody's friend, someone's cousin, their loved one. Their loved one. I hope you guys can't sleep at freaking night. But then you go into a white man's neighborhood in the county. You go into a white man's neighborhood in the county where he shot at you guys 200 rounds. Not a freaking robot, but shot at y'all head, trying to take y'all out. And what did y'all do to David Murray? Not a goddamn thing. You walked into accountability without a damn scratch. So to screw y'all. That's what I say. And that came from Tawanda Jones. I'm sorry, sister, go off, but I'm just I'm just trying and seeing Marcus. It's way too much. Like, I don't wish nobody into this. No one. They don't understand. We lived through the pain. We survived. So, like you said, if they see us with a smile on our face, keep the smile on our face for a minute. Don't try to like come at us with no foolishness, man. We can't take it. It's too much.
Too much. I have not even been able to go back to work. Like, I had short-term disability, and I still don't complain. I'm hurt.
Of course, the reason why you go to work is to make sure your son, your family's okay. That's why we go to work. That's why we get up in the morning excited to live, because we got our loved ones. And you snatch that? What the freak? Like, what? Like, oh my God, like, they don't understand. They don't understand. What they do, they just don't give a damn.
They don't care. They
don't care.
Because they have, most of them, they have children of their own, and they know how they value their children. So they understand. They get it. They just don't care.
They don't. They literally don't care. They don't care.
And it's like I would never heal, because I always have to bring awareness to the Fred Cox story, because he's not one of the big headliners, or, you know, where they mention the same few people name all the time. So I continue to have to fight. I continue to have to fight for Fred Friday, and we name it. And then they wanted to take a free bus to DC, and you got like over 50 people that want to sign up for a free bus, but I can't get 10 people to hit the streets on Friday to fight for my son. I will walk to DC by myself before I give y'all a free ride. Period.
I know that's right. Right. I feel that. I know that's right. I know that's
Friday. We have the same faithful few. The same faithful few. And I mean few, like 10 at the most. That comes out to fight for Fred Friday. And y'all want, and you think I'm gonna give you a free vacation to DC? No.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing it. So now we can put, our price on the bus, so our foundation and, one of our biggest supporters won't have to pay for this bus. Now everybody's mad. But we gotta support. It's all about support. If you going to support Fred Cox Life Matters, what's wrong with paying $45 for a day trip, and I'm feeding you breakfast and coming back? What? Like, people are selfish. They're selfish.
They are. They really are.
We gotta stop being selfish. Like, I need to find out my brother's name, that was murdered, the one that was just on. I need to know his name. So whenever we go out on Fridays and we chanting justice for Fred Cox, we can chant justice for him. He deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's justice for all.
And sister, his name is Marcus Martin. That's Marcus Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcus Martin.
Some of our cases don't get that high profile. And it's like, We are nobody. We are freaking somebody.
Mhm.
Somebody. No, nobody. We gotta stand together.
Amen.
Still in a whole church. That's something you barely even hear. You hardly ever hear about anybody being executed in a church. And it's like, well, okay, I'm still gonna holler these same few names.
Mhm. And sis, and I'm sad that I can't think of the lady name, but I remember I heard another story. So when I heard about you and your son, I actually thought you was her because like a few years ago, her son was actually executed inside of a church. Like literally, he was doing some janitorial services inside of the church, and they actually went in there, did all this type of fools, and gunned him down inside of a church, shot through the church window to
What?
execute her son. Like shot through the church window and executed her son. Like literally, like you can't make this stuff up. Like you can't. So as soon as I go through like my notes and all that kind of stuff, I'm definitely gonna make sure I connect y'all. Like that's horrible. Like, and that was the first time I'm like, oh my god, like who killed somebody in a church? Like a church where we go to praise God. That's our sacred ground. That's the place that I feel the most safest at. I feel more safe at church than I do in my own freaking home. Because I know I'm surrounded by people that pray, but then you gotta think about it. Dylan Roof came up in the church and killed all black folks. And did they freaking execute him? Did they freaking execute this white boy? Let's
They
talk
let
about
him
it.
smoke a cigarette
They
and
got
get
him smoking
something to eat.
cigarette. They gave him a bulletproof vest, and they stopped at Burger King and got this stinking animal a freaking burger. Okay, let's be clear. For executing black folks after he broke bread with them in the church, prayed with them and all that, killed the elderly people and all that, like took them out and nothing. So that's why I only never want to hear about, oh, he had a knife, oh, he had a gun. I don't give a freak what he had or what he didn't have. A victim is a victim. And that's why I stand for all the victims. I don't say, oh, well, did they have a weapon? I don't give a damn. Because guess what? They're not judge, jury, and executioner. Let's be crystal clear. I don't give a damn. Like,
Well, you know, that's the that's the part that they're gonna say because it's so convenient. Oh, he had a gun. He had a gunpowder on his hand.
Nothing.
No gun or. So he wasn't the one doing the shooting. Why you chasing my baby in the church? Why?
Because they can. It's called legalized genocide. They used to hang us from trees every like so many hours of a day, but now they replace it by gunning us down and beating us in the street. Legalized genocide. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's
My
exactly.
biggest question is where is the gun? Because nobody's been able to produce it. And then I asked District Attorney Avery Crow, so you tell me my baby died for no reason? And she shrugged her shoulders up at me.
Wow.
They're heartless. They try to be heartless. But I pray the same prayer that you pray. They don't sleep at night. Every time they close their eyes, they get my loved one. That's right.
I wish them calm. I ain't lying. Like I always told, treat people the way you want to be treated. So you want to go out there and you want to murder somebody loved one, I wish it back on you. God forgive me. I wish it back on you. Whatever you did,
tell my son that.
I wish it back on you.
You want to hang with the wrong crowd and you go out here and you pull the trigger on somebody, or you go out here or hanging with the wrong crowd, you shoot up somebody's house, tell them don't come to my house, tell them to come get you. I was that mother. I didn't play. That's why when they came with that, oh, he was in the guy. I was his big homie. Because I told his behind where to go, when to go. You gon' get up, go to school. It's so convenient. That's the first thing they have to say about us as black people. Oh, they had a gun. Oh, they in a gang. They could have had 15 guns, been in 18 gangs. He was still a human being, and he still did not deserve to be executed.
Amen. 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 That's the most disgusting thing. I'm sorry, was somebody trying to say something? Yeah, it's just
It's horrible. I can go on and on, but I been said something I don't have no business in. My phone will be blowing up, so I'm gonna leave it right there. We gotta take care of each other. Just cause my son's name not a certain name. And we should have been hitting the street. For Marcus, everybody should, the same way y'all hit the street for everybody else, we gotta stick together. I saw somebody say, threw up a peace sign the other day. He was like, nah, we don't say peace like that, we say peace like this. Because this means we separated. We together. He said, this is my peace sign. Never thought about it like that.
Amen. Amen.
But again, per usual, you know, I'm thankful for you. We will be in Ohio September 10th for a youth convention. My 10-year-old niece was chosen to come and be a special guest to tell the Fred Cox story. So we have a GoFundMe for her. She is excited.
Can you say your GoFundMe, sis?
Yeah, I'll make sure I send it to you. She's excited. She's nervous. She's struggling bad. She's 10 years old in therapy because she mourning her cousin. She misses him. Every day of her life since November 8th, she wears something of his. Baby is struggling. And it's bad. 10 years old. And this child is struggling this bad. Some days she called me just bust out crying. She misses him so much, and every Friday she is out there protesting.
And I'm so
10
glad.
years old, you could be out there with your little friend, you know, but she'll let them know I can come by after we do Fight for Fred Friday, because I gotta go protest for Fred.
Amen. I'm so happy that you guys are doing. That's why I said, like, if I didn't get anything else done, but just starting at West Wednesday in my brother's name, to actually, when your loved one is murdered, take a day for them and hold their feet to the damn fight. And I'm glad you got Fred Cox Friday. One of my sisters whose brother got killed, they got Flores Friday as well in their hometown where he was murdered at. Stephon Clark, who was gunned down his grandmother's backyard, and they thought he had a gun for his damn cell phone. They started and they say, you know what? Thank y'all, you inspired me, since they started Stephon Clark Sunday. Like, so we need to support each other. We need to just keep it going. That's why I'm actually trying to get my sister Angela, who her brother was murdered, Timothy, like to do Timothy t-shirt, because she's very creative. She made this t-shirt I have on today, but like, she's really creative. Like, we gotta carry our brothers and loved ones' name on and honor them in every which way we can. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
And Angela, please let me know how I can purchase a shirt for your brother. I can wear it for Fight for Fred Friday.
Okay, cool. And then, you know, once I get some, I'll send you one. That's like, when I get a chance, I'll get your information. I'll send you one of my brother Tyrone West face masks.
I'm definitely wearing it.
We're coming to DC. When we meet up in DC, I'll bring you one. I'll bring you one to DC. I'll bring you one. And I gotta get my sister Angela face mask too. So I'll be hitting Hillary up. Hillary, if you're watching this, I need 2 more face masks. I'll be cash app you say my however. But also, while we on here, my queen, and I'm sorry we don't have our brother Marcus, who brings this thing to life, because he always reads the comments. I'm quite sure we got 3,000 comments from YouTube, all that Facebook, but he you know, he got caught up doing something else, and he sent us well wishes and his love, but he always bring the fire by bringing it to life by reading comments and stuff like that. So I apologize that I'm not able to send that kind of special love because I don't want to be looking at my Facebook reading and not looking at you. It's just too much.
It's okay. It's okay.
I also want to send love out to my sister Tony. Her son, Corey Ball, would have been 34 years old. Her son was actually brutally murdered, gunned down, and like, so, you know, and the day would have been his 34th birthday, and they're without them, so I'm sending love. And I also, you know, didn't think that they were asking me to do. That's already done. My sister, she's watching it, so I just wanted to, again, like, sis, just thank you. Like, you thank me. No, thank you, because when a mother loses their child, ain't nobody stronger than that. When a father loses, ain't nobody stronger than parents who lose their children, because it, you know, we always brought up, and I pray to God that my children, when my time comes, however long it's going to be on this earth, I pray to God that my children bury me and be able to get through the struggle that I don't ever want to bury one of my kids. Like, that's not how God, that's not a part of God's plan. That's pure evilness. That's pure destruction. So I'm just glad that you still got your strength to talk. But like I said, sis, anytime you need to call me just to listen. And like I said, whatever you need, if you need a couple bucks, whatever I can do out my little measly paycheck, anything, let me know. I'm there for you, whatever which way I can support you. Like,
Hey, likewise. I mean, whatever I can do for you or any other mom, I'm right here. But as you were speaking of life design, you know, we never know how it's designed. Because the Saturday before Fred was executed, we had a whole discussion. The Saturday before he was executed, and he was like, "Mom, you will have to bury me first." And I said, "Fred, life is not designed like that." I said, "You have to bury me. A mother is never supposed to bury her child." He said, "Mom, I can't live without you." He said, "It's impossible for me to live without you." He said, "You will have to bury me first. Mom, I can't live without you." And the next day,
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like so sorry. But on the, you know, it's no good side to none of this. But the only thing that I can say is that God knew that he was a straight angel. And we all, and the only thing that I look at, sis, is that nobody, I don't care how long you live to be on this earth, nobody's going to ever get to defeat death. Like, nobody can defeat death. Like, I don't give a damn how much money you got in your bank account or whatever. Everybody's going to have that final moment where it's your time, where everybody that love you or connected to you, they're going to be tore up. Like, it's just a part of life, no matter if you were murdered or if you just died from natural causes or whatever. But we all got to go. And I believe that our God that we serve is not that selfish to just have us here on earth go through all that type of pain to lose somebody and we never see them again. They probably looking at us saying, y'all don't know what y'all missing. Y'all know what y'all missing. But the fact that your son did the most heroic thing, that's something you should be honored for. Like, literally, like, you hear about people that just get caught up in, like, nonsense, which it don't matter. Like, your loved one is working. I don't care if they got caught up in nonsense. You're going to still love them. That's not going to change anything. But the fact he gave his life for someone, you know, God gave him extra rewards. And that's why God's giving you that strength that you don't even know that you have in the inside of you, whether you know it or not, because what should have killed you is definitely making you stronger. So definitely, yeah, we want to see each other and be seeing the first chance I get to come up there on a Friday, because I'm going to get all my time, you know, for being on my job. But I get it at the end of this month. I've been teaching at my job for 15 years, so when I get my time kicking, I'm definitely going to take off one of these Fridays, and me and my sister Angela, we're going to take a trip, and we're going to come support you on a Friday, yeah.
And y'all come on, have this big old house. It's just my husband and I. Please come.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about nowhere to stay. You have a home right here with me.
Okay, we definitely come down there. You ain't got to worry about that, so. But is there anything else you want to share before we get to this real sad, long homicide list? Or, because our brother Brian is going to be sharing both of the lists tonight. It's the police brutality list and it's the homicide list. And at the end of the day, their sad list is that we don't ever want any of our family to be on. And it's just unfortunately, as these days are, we don't know what list we're gonna wind up. We're gonna wind up on the officers murdering our loved ones or community violence or the purge, because we still don't know who's doing all these unsolved homicides. I remember back in the day, you know, a person could get shot like 5 or 6 times and survive. They'll get them bullets out. Now you get hit one time, you dead. They saving who they want to save. You get what I'm saying? They saving who they want to save, and there's so many just said, like I just posted, it broke my heart yesterday to post a beautiful 15-year-old young, beautiful makeup artist actually murdered. And the crazy part, she was murdered. She was staying there when she got killed. She was outside with a group of people, and as soon as she got murdered, everybody ran off. And now they're trying to figure out, like, that's
It's 8 o'clock.
if you to actually leave this earth on the streets of Baltimore on the ground alone, where everybody's just running off, like, it's horrible. Like, a 15-year-old beautiful, beautiful young lady, beautiful baby girl murdered. And then there was a young man that was murdered, another 15-year-old. It's just like, it doesn't have an age range. You can't say, well, okay, well, they killing 40-year-olds, they killing 30-year-olds, 20. They killing everybody. You just never know, and this is sad. It's just really sad. So, do you want to share anything, or do anybody else on the panel want to share any questions, thoughts for our warrior queen sister? Mic check. Okay, and sis, would you like to share anything before we go to our brother Brian with the sad list?
No, I just again want to thank each and every one of you for having me yet again and keeping me in your thoughts and your prayers. We sincerely, as FCLM Foundation, on the behalf of my parents, my husband, everyone, we appreciate you.
Outside, do our news press conference, I'm going to definitely make sure I hold up Fred Cox's name. We will definitely say his name, so you ain't got to worry about that. Everybody in Baltimore City going to know who Fred Cox is, definitely. So we definitely ain't got to worry about it. I'm definitely going to make sure I show you and your family love and respect, because that's the least I could do. That's the least I could do, bare minimum. And that's why I don't understand why people are not out there supporting. But I get it, because I'm out there, like I said, we done had West Wednesday where we done had almost 3,000 people on Greenmount Avenue to literally sometimes just 3 people when it's raining backwards or sideways. So it is what it is. But like I said, if I gotta be the only one standing out there on the West Wednesday, the only lonesome one online at West Wednesday, if I gotta face the camera at myself when I'm indoors, I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it. I'm not gonna stop. I owe that to my brother. That's done. That's a done deal. So
you won't be alone against this.
Oh, I hear my sister. Do you want to say anything, Queen?
No, I was just saying you won't be alone again.
Okay. And you definitely won't be alone at all. So, yeah, so.
Leave my condolences to you again, sister. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to make that press conference the other week. I was just going through something.
Yes, I get it. We are all grieving. We are here for each other, whether we are in person or in spirit. I did not feel alone in one moment.
I will make a Fred Cox Friday real soon, because I'm not far.
Okay. I appreciate you. Love you.
Love you too, sis.
See, I feel the love. I love you guys so much. Y'all help me. Like, we cry together. We have pray together. God is good. God is good. Definitely. All right. So, again, before we go into our sad list, I want to thank my sister. Hopefully, if you got time, and I respect your time, but if you got to hop off, that's fine. We love you. But if you want to stay tuned, you definitely can, because right now, we're going to get to the sad, horrible police brutality list. And it was interesting. I'm glad Brian shared that they didn't have our brother Marcus nowhere on there. Like, that's like, they're sweeping stuff under the rug, and that's just like, it's disgusting. But welcome to Be More Credit. That's what I call it. Even though we do have a lot of great brothers and sisters, and I want to say that because it's like almost bittersweet, because we have so many people that I know that are doing so much of groundwork, that's beautiful work that you will never hear about on the news or anything. So a shout out to all of our community people that are actually giving and doing stuff in our community that nobody's picking up on. I'm picking up on all that stuff. I love you guys. Keep all the amazing work up. Keep the Runners for Justice up. Ceasefire. I'm showing you guys love. I'm showing Shorty love. I'm showing my brother JC who's feeding people in the community love. Just everybody. Like everybody that's doing community stuff. I'm showing you guys love. Thank you. It's too many groups to name, and I love that part. That's the part I love. There's too many groups and people that saying, you know what, this our city. We're gonna take care of it the best way we know how. So you guys are the real leaders. You guys are the real heroes. So thank you again for doing all the wonderful work. But we're gonna go just for out of respect for everybody's time. We're gonna actually go to the two sad lists. We're gonna start reading off the list of sad names of the Baltimore City homicide list. And as Brother Brian reads this list, I just want you guys to keep in mind, please keep in mind the hearts of the family members that actually were with their loved ones, enjoying them, knowing that they were here on earth, even if they weren't communicating with them, knowing that they're okay because they're still living. And then to actually learn the devastating news that actually changed folks' lives daily, that now their loved one is no longer here. No longer here. So let's just take 1 minute of silence just to show love, stand in solidarity, you know, with these family members, and praying to God that it's nobody on this list, because you know Baltimore is not so big, and I'm not just only praying for the Baltimore City families, because I know that this, even though we're reading the list of Baltimore City, as we should be, but this is a citywide thing. And just to announce real quick, I had my brother, shout out to my brother Jamal. Jamal, he is pretty much, he walks around, he said he has a Stop Killing Us campaign where he actually comes from Philadelphia and he actually walks to DC, and then he walks all the way to Baltimore City to uplift all the victims of homicides as well as police brutality victims as well. So a shout out, and if you guys don't know who he is Dr. Umar's father, and he will be joining us West Wednesday in person, because he's walking, like they already done hit Maryland a couple days ago, but he will actually arrive to us. He will actually arrive to us next West Wednesday. And I'll just tell you guys where we're going to be at now. We're going to be at the state's attorney's office, because I want to announce the big fight for us holding folks accountable and reopening the cases, the DC action that we're doing. But I also, most importantly, while I'm there at West Wednesday in front of the state's attorney office, I'm supporting my sister. I'm supporting Timothy Flemings. I'm supporting all of the Baltimore City cases. I'm supporting our brother Marcus that was just executed. Like, I'm supporting Jamal Taylor, Anthony Anderson. The list goes on. Dale Graham, Kevin Cooper. The list goes on. You know, when will folks be held accountable? So I'm supporting, you know, everybody. So we will be at the state's attorney's office this West Wednesday coming up. Next week, we will be there, and we have our brother Jamal, who was actually walking all the way. He already walked from Philadelphia, and he's in Maryland now, but he won't be to us until next week. So we're going to definitely be there. You don't want to miss that. So we're going to be standing there with my sister, Angela, Timothy Fleming's family, you know, to support him. And, you know, it's just sad, like, here it is, all these months pass, and their family still don't have important papers, information in their hand. Like, literally, what are you going to wait 4 or 5 months to come back and say, guess what, we're not going to do anything? The officers, the killers act within reason. No, we're not going for none of that foolishness. I'm going to tell you that now off the top. So please join us next West Wednesday in support of my queen sister, Angela, and her brother, Timothy Fleming. So we will be there. So I'm sorry for scrambling all around, but let's do our 1 minute before Brother Brian read the sad homicide list. 1 minute of silence. Thank you guys so much. Mic check.
Yeah, mic check. So I just want to, I've got these two lists to read, and I want to say, I just kind of want to mirror back what Juan has said in two things. First is, you know, each of these names that we're going to hear is a tragedy enough in and of themselves, but then to think about how it reaches out into a community, into a family, into friends, into people who just met this person once or twice, you know, we're still affected by them. And that's just the weight of that is just astounding. And the only thing that balances up against that is the people in the community who are in these struggles, who are out there doing ceasefire, who are doing, you know, all of these you know, food distributions and various you know, actions like this. And it reminds me of a friend of mine who said that this isn't a fight we're in so that we can win. This is a fight we're in because we're human. And if you're a person and you see this sort of thing, the only thing you can do is fight. And so that's what we do. And because, you know, I don't think in my lifetime, I don't think I'm going to see an end to violence, whether it's by police or by, you know, other people. But the last day of my life, I'm going to be fighting to end it all, end this violent world, you know, change this violent world that we live in. And so, without any further ado, I'm going to read the names, and you know, if y'all could just echo those back to me, that would be great. These were people killed in Baltimore in the past week, past 9 days. Janaea Whedon, 15.
Janaea Whedon, 15.
William Smith, 38.
William Smith, 38.
Santiago Loyal, 41. Bernard Knotts, 26.
Bernard Knotts, 26.
Jermaine Dixon, 41.
Jermaine Dixon, 41.
Darian Stewart, 33.
Darian Stewart.
And Brian Palmer, 26.
Brian Palmer, 26.
And over the same basic period, here in the United States, in the entire United States, killed by police, starting on August 6th, Nathan Larry Parsons.
Nathan Larry Parsons.
Also on the 6th, in La Habra, California, Matthew Ton Tran.
Matthew Ton Tran.
In Bakersfield, California, on the 7th, Che No Zuniga. On the 8th, in Baltimore, Maryland, Marcus Martin. In Detroit, Michigan, on the 8th, an unidentified man was killed. He just lived about him and his family. Actually, in Spring, Texas, another man was killed, has not yet been identified, also on the 8th. We lift him up and cherish his memory.
Okay.
On August 9th, in Rocky Face, Georgia, Stephen Ray Bailey.
Stephen Ray Bailey.
On August 9th, in Seguin, Texas, Christopher Robinson.
Christopher Robinson.
On August 10th, in El Mirage, Arizona, Johann Alexis Salaza. Also on August 10th, in Grantsboro, North Carolina, Marvin Richard Hitchcock.
Richard.
And then on August 11th in Nashville, Tennessee, an unidentified person was killed. Ashe. On August 11th in Juanita, Nebraska, Brooks Hacker. Also on the 11th in Honolulu, Hawaii, an unidentified person. On August 11th, in Castiac, California, Adrian Joel Sanchez.
Adrian Joel Sanchez.
Also on the 11th, in Adams County, Colorado, an unidentified man was killed by police. Ashe.
Ashe.
On August 12th, in Missoula, Montana, Brendan Galbraith. On the 12th in Webb City, Montana, Elaire Escobar.
Elaire Escobar.
On the 12th in Orlando, Florida, William Sellers.
William Sellers.
On the 13th in Bakersfield, California, a man was killed. He's not yet been identified by police.
Ashe.
Ashe. On August 14th, in Saugus, Massachusetts, Stephanie Girardi.
Stephanie Girardi.
On August 14th, in Galesburg, Michigan, a man was killed. He's not yet been identified. Being killed by police. Ashe.
Ashe.
On August 14th, in St. Paul, Nebraska, a man named John Vogel was killed by police. On August 15th, in Greene County, Tennessee, Kathleen L. Harris was killed by police.
Kathleen.
On August 15th, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a man was killed by police. He's not yet been identified. Ashe.
Sorry.
And lastly for this week, on August 15th, in Lexington County, South Carolina, Philip John Walden was killed by the police.
Philip John Walden.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's disgusting. And like, it's just horrible. Like, and we read these names off to you week after week. When is it going to ever be a time that we're going to actually come on here and we won't have to uplift nobody's name? When is the senseless violence going to stop? And that's applied around the board, whether it's with community violence or the senseless violence of these killer cops that are just killing us. Like, this is a big problem, and it shows you. If we could actually read a list that long of people actually being murdered, people are comfortable. People are comfortable, and it's just sad. It's just sad. But it's horrible. It's horrible. And enough is enough. Enough and enough. Like, how many years are we going to go through this abuse, this torture, this horrible system that was actually designed to actually wipe us out? Like, how many years? Like, what's the answer? Like, especially when you're trying everything. We done tried the peaceful protest. We done tried changes, laws and things like that. We done tried everything. Like, I'm like, I need answers. I need you guys to give me feedback, because like, how many mothers are gonna have to lose their son? How many more Fred Cops are we gonna have? And for us to have a beautiful sister that can actually come up here by the grace of God to tell you that her son was executed in a church by a law enforcement officer. That is horrible. Her baby, her only child. Like, at what point, like whoever, like where are our allies at that are gonna stand up and put their bodies on the line and say, you know what, they shouldn't have to go through this. Like, oh, it's a simple, quick fix. If you hold people accountable for their actions and apply it all around the board, that's a start. Even though we know, even if we hold everybody accountable, we know that that's not just the go fix it, like that's going to fix it and solve everything, because you're going to still have people that murder people and don't care and just keep on, but it will still slow it up. They're not even slowing it up. They're so hard pressed to actually have this number at the end of the year to say, you know what, we went over the amount of people that got killed in the city. We had over 317 homicides for the year. It's easy for them to read that damn list because their loved ones are not on that list. Would they be able to part their lips if they lived in our shoes? Walk in our freaking shoes for a day. You ain't got to walk in there for a whole day. Walk in our shoes for 6 hours. 6 hours top. And see what you would do to stop this senseless foolishness. In life, we know that there's a time when someone is born and there's a time to mourn the loved ones of our life. You know, that's just a part, that's something we can't change. But what we can change is the way the stuff is happening to us. Like, how many more people? And I think about all of our forefathers, I think all of our warriors in the movement that actually were back in the day watching people hang from trees. My grandmother actually got to see that. My grandmother actually had, her and her mother actually picked cotton. Like, that is disgusting. That is horrible. And I'm going to miss her telling me different tales, but those tales and memories that she embedded right here are never going nowhere. Right here in two places, in my brain and in my heart. That's never going nowhere. So no matter how much you think you're killing our loved ones, taking them away, guess what? Life is full with memories. That's something you can never take away. And again, pray for me, because only thing I can say is I wish you come. I wish you come at this point. Like, how many more people gotta get murdered? And while you guys go home and sit with your families, we're having restless nights. Like, I done seen my sister Angela come a long ways in the short period of time that I've known her, from fighting and doing this and cooking and just doing her thing, and to actually having moments where she just wanted to just get nothing but sleep. And we know sleep is the cousin of death. We know this. But how much can we process? Sometimes we have to take that space. And while we're in this space now, I want to uplift my sister, her brother, Leonard Shan. Never forget how he was executed. Leonard Shan was executed, like, by law enforcement officers at a Starbucks. You go there 1 year and you're in Starbucks and an officer stabbed you up to the point, they're like, officers don't stab nobody, but then you see the video and then he get cleared of all charges because they try to press charges against Leonard Shan. And then they had a hit for that man. They wasn't done. They was waiting for him to go into the next Starbucks. It was just a matter of time. Because the things with these serial killers, they watch us. They study us. They probably know by everyone. They know, oh, she eat cheesesteak subs, she do this, she do that. They study us. And they wait and they try to conquer their prey. Let's be crystal clear. So I just wanted to uplift my sister, and I want to uplift everybody. Like, everybody's going through something. And I also want to thank my brother David. While he was grieving, like, this just happened, but he took the time to uplift, for us to uplift his loved one's name. And it's just sad, like, why do his loved one, Martin, have to be on a sad list? Somebody that, a handsome young man, a handsome father, brother, cousin, friend, uncle, family member, had to be murdered. Just imagine you lose your job, and that's some stressful stuff. I couldn't imagine, like, I went through stress on my job when I went through some foolishness before, for fighting for accountability for my brother, and I got placed on a list of floaters. Like, are you freaking kidding me? With 2 degrees and all that, I get placed for a whole year. I had to go through actually relieving teachers to do, and to actually be a substitute. Place on a substitute list. I'll never forget that. And that was heartbreaking. But what kept me there was, for one, they didn't mess with my pay because they knew they was wrong. You're going to tell me at the same moment you're praying for me, but then you go and you kick me out of my classroom, and I got to work for other people that should be actually helping me out. But see, in life, we got to go through foolishness. But I learned from it. I don't feel no type of way, but that was stressful. So I know I felt like so degraded. I felt like I mentally went through something. And then people that ain't even worked in my job for years was hitting me up and saying, Juwan, you ain't in your classroom? I'm in my mind like, you don't even work at my job. You been quit or got fired 10 years ago, but you want to reach out. You don't reach out and say, hey, how you and the kids doing? How the movement going for your brother? But you reached out just to ask me some foolishness. Just to ask me some foolishness. Almost a laugh in my face, but it's cool. We'll see who has the last laugh. Because as long as I know I'm doing God work, no matter if we take blows to the chin, get knocked down, beat up, guess what? I'm going to still do what I got to do, even if it don't feel comfortable, because a lot of things that we do in life are not going to be comfortable. Everything not going to be peaches and cream, and I know that. So I'm going to not hold you guys up, but I want to thank my guest, Tanika, Fred Cox's mom, for being the strongest woman that I know to actually be able to come out, fight for all of us. This sister don't want nobody, family member, to feel like this. Like, literally, and when you see, like, when they kill one of our loved ones, they're killing our whole damn family. They're killing people, because you got some people that are stronger, that can endure pain a little more, or whatever. Mental can take that, but then you got some that don't. So I can relate to her when she said her father was sick, but now this thing is killing. I had an uncle who had no health problems. Clifton Anderson, healthy man. But then, when he was out there with my family, screaming for his nephew, and all he said was, God, please don't take me before I see accountability for my nephew. And he got took. He got took 2 years ago. We're going on almost 3, and I can't believe I'm saying almost 3 years come up this October coming up. Like, this is horrible. Nobody family should have to go through this. And all that man wanted to see was accountability. You go in the hospital for something, for outpatient surgery, to get a tumor removed because you were stressing out, a stomach tumor removed, and he went through that. We visited him in the hospital. He was in there for he went in for the surgery, but then he went home. And literally, when we went to his house to visit him, he was down off his feet for like a couple of weeks. Then he bounced back up and was good, went back to Hopkins. They checked him out. They said, okay, you fine. Why didn't you find what you left in them then? This was John Hopkins, who experimented on our black men and women and children. Let's be clear. I'm calling Hopkins out. Yes, I am. Because they're responsible for Clifton Anderson being dead. They're responsible. And then he go back in after he healed his body up from from that surgery to actually say, oh, Mr. Anderson, we wanted to let you know we're sorry. We didn't get all of the tumor out. So then they knock him off his feet for a whole nother 6 to 8 weeks. And then he rebuilt through that. And then they be brought back, still, back to health again, with what he's thinking is health. And to be out there fighting for his nephew, Tyrone, and then now told to get, we're so sorry again. The thing has turned cancer, so we got to start treatment because we see some more tumors done grow. Like, are you freaking kidding me? You used my damn uncle as an experiment, and now he's dead. So I wish you karma. I wish whatever you're doing to our people, I hope you get it back. I hope you get it back. I really do. So on that note, I'm going to get out of there before I start getting emotional, because I always like to leave on a positive note. So I want to again thank my sister Tanika, my sister Tanika, for the fight and love that she has for her son, for our hero, Fred Cox, say his name. I want to definitely thank her. I want to thank my sister Angela, who lost her brother and always here for us and doing whatever she can for the movement and for herself. I just want to thank each and every last one. I want to thank the West Coalition. And you guys haven't seen Uncle Bill for a minute because he's on vacation. He's taking care of the kids. He's called it Camp Blight. So I hope they're having fun. I hope Marcus enjoyed whatever he was doing today because he said he couldn't be with us because he had other plans and whatnot. And I'm hoping everybody is joining because right now they're about to literally, we got 2 more weeks before we're fully back in a school schedule with being in a pandemic and still the kids gotta go to school and the numbers are still rising. So I'm praying that if you're strong enough and you want to get the vaccine, do whatever you can so we can just come up out of this thing. Me personally, I'm not getting a vaccine. I'm not. I know it's like, how the hell you gonna tell somebody to get something you ain't get? I'm just not getting it yet, like I said, but I'm willing to get it if they make my children get it. Then I'm gonna have no choice because I'm not gonna let them get something that I won't get. So I'll be getting it with them, So moving right along, I want to thank my brother David, and I'm praying for Marcus Martin's family. If you can, next week I gave you guys on the 27th is the funeral arrangements and things like that, and on the 28th of next week, and it's pretty much they're having a repast cookout type of thing. So if you guys can make it out there to support Marcus Martin's family, please do so. If you guys can make it to DC to support us, we're going to actually try to uplift our loved one's name. And I can't wait to meet and give my sister a real life love. I mean a real life hug in person. I can't wait to give my sister a real hug in person. So I'll be seeing her on the 28th in DC. So just look out for us next week at West Wednesday. We'll be out in the streets. So again, I just thank each and every last one of you. Live to love, love to live. Thank you all. Thank you, my brother Ben, the man I called before and behind the movement, who actually started up. And I'll never forget. I'm ready to go because I'm long-winded, but I'll never forget. And brother Ben has 2 beautiful children that he spends time with and everything. And I remember he started like, well, when my weeks or days when I don't have, my children, I'll definitely be there to support or whatever. When he's found out about all the technical issues I was having, he's been dedicated. He's been completely dedicated. No matter, he done came from here sick as a dog, like wrapped up, bundled up in the sheet, and making sure that we get West Wednesday online. So I thank him. And he always come out in the booth when we're outside in the street. So I just love the West Coalition family. I just love each and every last one of you guys. So again, thank you all. We brought a video to you guys that showed one of the murderers, Ruiz, one of the 17 animals that murdered my brother. And as we saw on this video, that there were six victims. Unfortunately, 5 before, literally 4 that I knew about before they killed my brother. And then there was 2 other victims, 2 to 3 other victims. Maybe I'll say 3 before. 3 victims that I definitely knew before they murdered my brother. That, this could have been prevented if they put Ruiz and Killer Chapman on death duty. They wouldn't have been able to call in the rest of the maniacs to finish murdering my brother. And then I found out that there were more victims after my brother. So the same way we brought you the video, please watch, stick around for part 2 of the video and share this video. Please guys, if you can, please get out there and support Fred Cox Friday, because I'm telling y'all I'm coming. Soon as I'm going to get my good days and good time, and at the end of this month, and I will take a day off on a Friday to go down there and support my sister. Go down there, support her in whatever way you can, because you don't want to be that mother losing your child and all your access is for somebody's support. And just like she said, everybody case deserves that same type of support system. As the same way we support George Floyd in the world, but it's crazy that nobody does no type of support to stuff start burning down until it becomes a trendy hashtag. Again, I'll say, we're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on a t-shirt. And meet us down at the state's attorney's office next week to demand Timothy Fleming's autopsy report, to demand that Marilyn Mosby, even though she disrespected my family, never met back with me with no type of accountability, nothing at all.
but to demand that she meets with Angela family, Timothy Fleming's family, for some type of accountability. Because these killer cops not gonna keep murdering our loved ones and just walking away, and they're talking about they act within reason. No, so live to love, love to live. I'll see you guys out in the streets next West Wednesday. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
Listen, Jesse, back the fuck up.
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam, and my sister Adina and her family. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.